So the first thing that you want to do is you're going to go ahead and put a slip knot, leave a tail, put a slip knot on your hook. Okay, doesn't matter which leg to start with. I'm going to go ahead and just start here towards the back so it's easier to see. Okay, make sure you have your working yarn, not your tail. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to be chaining around that wire for the leg. Okay, so in order to do that, you want to go ahead and wrap the yarn underneath, but keep the hook on top. You can see that's now in between my yarn here. Okay, so now go ahead and yarn over. Hold that slip knot in your hands just to make it easier for you to have that tension, and pull through. Okay, and that's connected it here on the leg. Now again, you're going to wrap the yarn around and around the hook and pull through. Okay, wrapping it around the yarn and pulling through. Wrapping it around the arm and pulling through. Wrapping it around the arm and pulling through. And this is creating the chain, and then you're looping it around that wire to hide the wire inside, okay? So one way to do this too is that as you're wrapping it around, you just bring it up and around that arm, okay? So that way when you pull through, you're already where you need to be. Wrapping it around and pulling through. Wrapping it around and pulling through. And you're going to keep doing this until you have a long enough chain for whatever length the arm is for you, okay? So you want this chain to start from here at the end of the hook all the way up to where it touches her chest. And make sure, because as you're pulling on this, it's going to pull on the wire on the other side. So just make sure that you're still at an even length as you're going about this. Otherwise, you'll be doing a chain on part of this leg on this side. Okay, so just long enough to get it all the way to the body. And I'll come back and show you what to do once you have that chain around the arm. Okay, so I've gone ahead and finished doing the chain on the first arm. I'm double checking to make sure the length of the arms is still even, and they are. At this point, pull the loop up. You're going to snip off the working yarn tail. Okay, go ahead and pull that thread through the loop and create a knot. Okay, so now you've fastened that off. You should have one end towards the chest piece and one end towards the hand. Okay, so first we're going to go ahead and do the chest piece. So get your yarn needle. Okay. All right. It's not easy to work around all of these arms, I'll give you that, but it is doable. So very similar to how we attached the spots here, we're going to go in through the orange, come out around another spot near where that wiring is. Okay, so now you've connected it, and you're just going to take some stitches through the black on either side, okay, and just kind of do your best to fasten it around that wire so that you don't see where the wire is coming out from the body. I'm going in through the black again, going in through the chest piece, coming out over here. I would do that about 4 times or so, just picking up another part of that chain that you started with, and then bring it back to the back, around that wire. Okay. Being careful not to grab any of the other legs while you're at it. Here we go. Okay. And then you're going to go ahead and fasten it off, grabbing. You can move the leg if you need to, since it is bendable. You just grab a thread here and do what you've normally done. Make your loop. This, go through to form your knot, and then try to tuck that knot into the chest piece. Coming out from the other side of the chest piece and tucking it in that way, okay? All right, now let's go ahead and clip this one off. And tuck that in. Okay. All right, so now we need to go ahead and do the hand. So let's grab one of our hands here. Okay, and what I found to be helpful, you don't have to do this, but this is how I found it to be helpful to put the hands on. First, I thread the needle on the leg, okay, and I take that and I go in through the inside of the hand, through the middle there, and just come out along the end of it somewhere, okay. So that pulls the hand up to where the leg is. Now put the hooked leg inside of that hand, okay? And then pull a little bit tight. You're not going to be weaving this end in. You're just going to be clipping it off later. Okay, now take your other tail, the hand's tail, not the handmaid's tail, the hand's tail. And then what you're going to do is similar to what we did towards the back, but now we're going to take this hand and connect it to this end of the chain. Taking a stitch in every one of those 4 single crochets that you ended up with on the hand, okay? And the goal here is just to cover the wire. That's our entire goal for this piece. Perfect. So now she's got her leg, she's got the hand on the end. Now we go ahead and fasten off this thread, just as we normally do with our knot. Okay, we're going to tuck it into the hand. And now we're just going to clip this one off and clip this other one off that we just used to guide the leg into the hand. And then just tuck in those ends as best as you can. There we go. Perfect. Okay. All right, so we've finished with the first leg. Now we have to do that with every single one of these 8 legs. It'll be easier with the arms to keep them out straight, like so. Make sure they're even again, okay? And then go ahead and finish up all of those legs, doing your chain along the leg, stitching that end to the chest piece, bringing on the hand, and then stitching the hand around the leg and finishing off to finish the hand, okay? I will meet you back at the end so we can look at how Whimsy's looking at that point. And the last thing we're gonna do with her are her eyes at the top, okay? So I'll meet you back at that. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe so that you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. Thanks, guys.